Hello and welcome back, everybody. Look, we've got Alice today in the Backyard Food Forest with us. We've got a beautiful, crisp fall day, blue skies. The weather is definitely cooling down, but we've got plenty of plants here to continually harvest from. What are you making tonight, sweetie, for dinner?
We have to make cuttings.
No, what are you making for dinner?
Tinola.
Tinola, my favorite Filipino cuisine. She makes an absolutely fantastic tinola, and it's kind of a versatile recipe in that you can add different green leaf vegetables into it. We've been using, what kind of green leaves have we been using for several months now?
The goji berries over there.
What can you say about using the goji berry leaves in the tinola?
Same as this, you know, the tips.
Same as the pepper leaves?
Yes.
A lot of people don't know the pepper leaves are edible as well.
Oh, we're using it in tinola in the Philippines, the leaves.
But we should mention not all pepper leaves are edible, but in general, bell pepper leaves are the most commonly grown and used in the cuisine. So do your research before you use the pepper leaves. But the goji berry, Lycium barbarum leaves are edible, and we've been using those, and they're absolutely wonderful. We've got an abundance of them. So anyway, we're over here at the patch of longevity spinach that I established earlier this year. This patch has done fairly well. We're looking forward to this patch perennializing, and we can accomplish that after we take our harvest here by giving it a bit of a covering, a mulch, to keep that root area nice and warm throughout the winter months. So I'm going to show you how I do that once we pull our harvest. But we're going to go ahead and take this plant all the way down a few inches above the ground. We're going to be utilizing the leaves and taking the larger stems like this and creating cuttings out of them. So Alice is going to go ahead and start harvesting cuttings and taking the plant down.
Healthy, right?
Yeah, so a cutting like this can be made into a couple cuttings. We could cut this in half again.
And
all you need is about 5 to 8 inches. You could use that entire thing as a cutting, but why don't you cut it in half, and we'll just get the cutting length.
I have to cut it in half, cord it.
Yep.
And look, this smell, honey. This one,
smells so fresh,
yeah.
Huh?
Oh.
These longevity spinach plants are the easiest to get rooted out of any other crop that I've ever grown. We're going to be bringing in these cuttings and putting it in a little mason jar of water, probably a couple different jars. So we're going to pluck off all the leaves and use them in our cuisine, and we'll take the cutting and just put it in some simple tap water. No rooting hormone, nothing special about it. And within a few days, you'll see roots starting to develop right there at the base of the plant where we took the cutting at. And you could just root these plants directly in the soil, but that's going to be best if the weather's already warming up, the soil is consistently warm. Otherwise, I recommend bringing them indoors, doing it in a vat of water. And once you got roots, transferring it into something like a 1-gallon pot in an area that is kept warm. We're going to be using our greenhouse for that.
I'll take the leaves, and then later I have to cut for.
You'll cut them down later?
Yeah.
In the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
And then look at this. Can we cut the whole thing now?
Just leave a few inches above.
Yeah, like maybe like this.
Yeah. You can leave a little bit of green growth there as well. That's good. As I mentioned, we're going to do our best to try to perennialize this crop. It's a frost tender plant. We're about 50% success whenever we establish a patch of longevity of it coming back the following season. After winter's passed, even if it looks like it's completely died, it'll start to emerge again from the ground. Obviously, the colder your climate, if you live in an area that snows and stays well below freezing for an extended period of time, it's probably not going to work out for you. But you may be able to have success with the technique we're sharing with you today in zones 7B and up. Otherwise, I've shared with you in the past another technique is to actually root this plant and grow it as an indoor house plant over the winter. I suggest everybody do that regardless of what zone you're in.
So it's a lot now. Do you think we can make a later day for this one?
No, let's take it all, because tonight could be the night that we get down into those lower temperatures and the plant will literally just die. It's heartbreaking when it happens and you haven't come out and taken your cuttings. It's time. Some other plants growing around here is the nasturtium, edible leaves and flowers, peppery flavor. And we've still got some bell peppers growing there behind Alice as well.
Maybe this one too, huh?
This is some lemongrass. Here you go. Yeah, there you go.
How about this?
Yeah.
Can we cut the whole thing over here?
Yeah, and then you'll just trim it down in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So throughout the growing season, the summer months and into early fall, if you are taking cuttings off of the plant, you know, just harvesting it for food, then it's going to create more side shoots, which are going to give you even more potential cuttings later in the season.
How many tinola and cuttings can we make for this, honey?
I'm going to guess probably at least 50 cuttings, and this longevity cooks down like spinach, so we can put some into the soup tonight. And if you want, because we've got so much, we can take some of these cuttings and put them with water with the leaves on it, and it'll survive that way too.
Yes.
And then we can just harvest leaves in a couple days from now, make soup again or saute. So I'm just going to cage up around the patch here, and we're going to sprinkle that straw. We don't want to compact it too much. Just get a nice insulative barrier around the surface of the soil here, around the stems of those plants. And it looks like a lot. This really isn't that much because it's all fluffed up. So that's it. That should do an excellent job helping to protect the surface and the root zone of those plants, just giving it that little added protection from freezing temperatures and frost so that it can perennialize and come back next year. You know, one of the greatest things about a food forest as it continues to develop and mature is the amount of volunteers that start coming up every year now. Like all these fava beans, all self-seeded themselves. They now come up all throughout the food forest. Here's some more. You can see where one of the plants was dropping its seeds and sprouting up here. And these are a very rare variety known as Cuscan Super Yellow. So to have something so rare from the mountains of Peru, perennializing, growing back every year in the garden, it's a real treat. Here's some more coming up on the top of the hugel and plenty of seeds that have dropped. I could help it along by putting a little layer of soil around here. Check out those wisteria seed pods dangling off the tree, very ornamental. Before you know it, this plant will look like a skeleton and we'll be doing some pruning on it. Dan's perennial tree kale and tree collards are really booming now with this cooler weather. We're now in the season, late fall through the winter and the spring, and these perennial greens are absolutely delicious. They become sweet. This one's growing up quickly, about 7 feet tall. This is a good looking volunteer green coming up. Alice planted a papaya tree back over here, and it's still surviving. We're going to do our best to see if we can get this to overwinter, offer it a little bit of protection, maybe put some plastic around it. And everywhere we have a perennial greens patch, we've got a patch of seedlings coming up, volunteer plants. So why don't you show us your camote top patch, your sweet potato patch that we planted out earlier this year.
This one. But a few days, it's ready to dig again to get the yum.
So we harvested many harvests of greens from this patch throughout the summer and into the fall here. And at this point, we're letting it go, and then we'll harvest those yams. And remember the old adage, a penny saved is a penny earned. If you can supplement your grocery bill by growing different foods that thrive and that you're going to utilize in your landscape, well, you are essentially growing money plants. Isn't that right, my lioness?
Yes.
Let's see that shirt.
We have to dig it.
Can you hear the music? It's common sound around here, and I guarantee you that party's not wearing any diapers. So Alice is going to harvest a cutting board, a natural cutting board from our banana tree, if she can find a viable leaf still. Banana tree has other uses than just the fruit. You can use the leaves in replacement of aluminum foil, or you can use them as paper plates or trays.
It will die anyway, so I have to use.
This young persimmon tree has got quite a few ripe fruits on here. We've been enjoying these. So to process these cuttings down, Alice is just basically pinching off the leaves. Can leave some of the smaller ones on.
I am enjoying doing it, honey.
So here she's got a couple bowls. These are some pretty small bowls, honey. These are some pretty small bowls for the work
And I'll
you're doing.
continue later.
Okay. Check the links down below in the description box if you want a more detailed video just focusing on the rooting and propagating of the plant. And there's a belief in the longevity spinach community, known botanically as Gynera procumbens, that if you eat 7 leaves a day.
Huh?
What?
I am gonna eat the leaves for
I
7.
didn't finish telling you what it would accomplish though.
Oh.
If you eat 7 leaves a day, you'll grow a long, warty nose.
Warty nose?
Yeah, you know, like warts and stuff.
I don't know about that.
Just kidding. If you eat 7 leaves a day, it's gonna create tremendous health for your body. I don't see how it could be wrong. Only one way to find out.
Well, if it is like that, honey, every day I'm gonna eat 7 leaves. I have to separate, and every day for 7 days.
But if you, oh, okay, because I was gonna say if you did that every day, we wouldn't have any leaves right now. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all have a great rest of your day and a rest of your weekend. Until next time, this is Dan
And Alice.
from plantabundance.com. Take care. We'll be talking to you again soon.
In a few minutes we will eat.